What if I told you there's a secret world where wealth isn't just measured in billions, but in trillions? A level of fortune so vast, it can bend economies, dictate oil prices, and decide the fate of nations. King Salman of Saudi Arabia sits atop an empire worth more than $2 trillion, a sum so immense that it rivals the GDP of entire countries. This is not just about luxury, it's about absolute power, a kind of influence that stretches far beyond palaces and private jets, shaping industries, policies, and even global alliances. But here's the real question. What does this staggering fortune mean beyond the numbers? How does it allow Saudi Arabia to exert unparalleled control over the world stage? And most importantly, what secrets lie behind this empire of unimaginable wealth? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover will change the way you see wealth, power, and influence forever. The $2 trillion empire of King Salman. Imagine a fortune so immense that it doesn't just buy luxury. It buys influence, control, and global dominance. This is the reality of King Salman and the House of Saud, whose $2 trillion empire extends far beyond oil. It is a financial juggernaut that shapes economies, dictates energy markets, and ensures that Saudi Arabia remains one of the most powerful forces in the modern world. At the heart of this immense wealth lies Saudi Aramco, the undisputed crown jewel of the kingdom. This isn't just an oil company. It's the most valuable corporation on the planet, surpassing even Apple and Microsoft. With 5.4 million barrels of oil being pumped out every single day, Aramco isn't just fueling cars, it's fueling an empire. The sheer scale of its operations means that every fluctuation in Saudi oil production sends ripples across the globe, affecting everything from gas prices to international diplomacy. But this fortune isn't just about money, it's about power. Control over oil is control over the modern world, and Saudi Arabia wields this influence like a finely honed weapon. When the kingdom decides to increase or cut production, it can send shockwaves through global markets, causing oil prices to surge or collapse. Even the most powerful nations, from the United States to China, must tread carefully when dealing with Saudi oil policy. And with this level of financial firepower comes a lifestyle that defies imagination. The Saudi royal family isn't just rich, they are the embodiment of extreme wealth. Palaces adorned in solid gold, fleets of Rolls-Royces and Bentleys, private jets that rival the world's most luxurious hotels, and super yachts that make billionaires look modest by comparison. But the true power of the House of Saud isn't just in what they own, it's in what they control. From billion-dollar investments in tech and real estate to silent influence over some of the world's largest corporations, the Saudi royal family's wealth is woven into the very fabric of global finance. And this empire, it's only getting stronger. The rise of Saudi Arabia, how oil created an empire. In 1938, a single discovery changed the fate of an entire nation. Beneath the scorching desert sands of Saudi Arabia, the world's most valuable resource was unearthed oil. What was once a remote kingdom sustained by trade and agriculture suddenly became the epicenter of global energy power. Seemingly overnight, Saudi Arabia was transformed from an isolated desert land into a financial superpower. The discovery of oil wasn't just a stroke of luck. It was the birth of an empire, one that would go on to control a substantial percentage of the world's energy supply. At the heart of this transformation was Saudi Aramco, the company that would become the backbone of the kingdom's wealth. What started as a small operation quickly turned into an economic colossus, dictating the price of oil across continents and holding the keys to the stability of global markets. With reserves estimated at over 267 billion barrels, Saudi Arabia became a kingdom not of gold or land, but of black gold, the single most sought-after resource in the modern world. But controlling oil was only half the story. The real genius of the House of Saud was in how they maintained an iron grip on this wealth, ensuring that power remained in their hands for generations. Through strategic alliances, multi-billion-dollar deals, and carefully controlled production, they built an empire that extended far beyond the oil fields. And the world took notice. Nations, corporations, and political leaders, from Washington to Beijing, knew that keeping Saudi Arabia happy meant securing their own energy future. Deals were brokered behind closed doors, alliances were formed, and policies were shaped to ensure that the kingdom remained at the center of the global economy. Today, Saudi oil is more than just a commodity. It is a tool of influence, a weapon of economic warfare, and the foundation of one of the most powerful monarchies on earth. And as the world looks toward new energy sources, one question remains. How long can the House of Saud maintain its grip on power? The lavish world of the Saudi royals. When your wealth is measured in trillions, luxury isn't just a lifestyle, it's a statement of power. For the Saudi royal family, extravagance is more than just private jets and billion-dollar investments. It's about creating a world so exclusive, few can even imagine it exists. The palaces, fortresses of wealth and influence. Behind the towering walls of Al Yamama Palace, Al Salam Palace, and Urga Palace lies a world of unparalleled opulence. These aren't just homes. They are symbols of dominance, where billion-dollar deals are made and the fate of nations is decided. Step inside Al Yamama Palace, King Salman's primary residence, and you enter a realm where gold-encrusted walls, towering crystal chandeliers, and handcrafted marble interiors exude an unmistakable aura of power. Every inch of its design serves one purpose: to remind the world who controls the wealth that fuels global economies. But wealth isn't just about business, it's also about pleasure. Enter Al Salam Palace, the royal family's retreat along the pristine Red Sea coastline. Here, private beaches, manicured gardens, and secluded luxury hideaways serve as the perfect setting for gatherings of world leaders, billionaires, and dignitaries. Deals worth billions are often sealed in these halls, far removed from the public eye. And then there's Urga Palace, a hidden fortress where tradition meets cutting-edge security. This is where Saudi power is most protected, with rumored underground bunkers, high-tech surveillance, and private detention centers. A stark reminder that power is not only displayed, but also fiercely guarded. A yacht fit for a king and priceless art collections. If palaces weren't enough, King Salman also owns one of the most expensive yachts on the planet. A $500 million floating masterpiece equipped with a private movie theater, a helipad, and a spa that rivals the world's most luxurious resorts. The yacht isn't just a luxury, it's a statement of global dominance, a mobile palace on the seas. And the art? The House of Saud boasts a collection worth billions, including Da Vinci's legendary Salvator Mundi, the most expensive painting ever sold at $450 million. These masterpieces are more than just decoration. They are part of a high-stakes game of wealth preservation and cultural influence. Secret offshore wealth, the hidden side of the empire. The world sees the gold-lined palaces and extravagant displays of wealth, but the true power of the Saudi royal family lies in what they don't show. With investments in global tech giants, luxury real estate, and undisclosed offshore accounts, the House of Saud ensures its wealth remains untouchable. Billions are quietly funneled into Swiss banks, private equity firms, and sovereign wealth funds, allowing the kingdom to silently control industries across the world. Wealth as a weapon of control. But make no mistake, this fortune isn't just about luxury. It's a tool of control. Whether through billion-dollar oil deals, political alliances, or global investments, Saudi wealth is used to shape economies, influence superpowers, and dictate global policy. And the world, it bows to the power of money. But with great wealth comes even greater scrutiny. How long can the House of Saud maintain this level of power? And in an age of shifting energy landscapes, what happens when the money stops flowing? One thing is certain. In the world of the ultra-rich, control is everything, and the House of Saud isn't giving it up anytime soon. The vision for the future: Saudi Arabia beyond oil. For decades, Saudi Arabia's wealth has been tied to one thing: oil. But the House of Saud knows that the world is changing. Global demand for oil is shifting, renewable energy is on the rise, and economies are looking beyond fossil fuels. So what happens when the resource that built an empire is no longer enough? Enter Vision 2030, a $500 billion bet on the future, led by King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS. This isn't just an economic strategy. It's a complete reinvention of Saudi Arabia's global identity. And if it succeeds, it could make the kingdom more powerful than ever before. Neom, the $500 billion city of the future. Imagine a city where there are no roads, no cars, and no pollution. A city powered by AI, robotics, and 100% renewable energy. This isn't science fiction. It's Neom, Saudi Arabia's most ambitious project yet. With a projected cost of $500 billion, Neom is designed to be a futuristic megacity, stretching across 10,000 square miles in the Saudi desert. It includes The Line, a 170-kilometer-long city built in a straight line, where people will travel through a high-speed transit system instead of streets. Saudi Arabia is betting big on innovation, hoping to make Neom the Silicon Valley of the Middle East, attracting the world's top tech companies, scientists, and entrepreneurs. If it works, it could transform the kingdom into a global hub for artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and automation. The sports and entertainment takeover. Saudi Arabia isn't just building cities. It's buying influence in sports, entertainment, and pop culture. From purchasing Newcastle United Football Club to hosting Formula One races, WWE events, and boxing megafights, Saudi Arabia is rapidly becoming a global player in the world of sports. And the entertainment industry? The Saudi Public Investment Fund, PIF, has poured billions into Hollywood, securing stakes in major film studios and even funding blockbuster productions. The goal? Control the narrative, reshape global perception, and position Saudi Arabia as an entertainment powerhouse. Diversification strategy, tech, tourism, and global power. Oil built the Saudi empire, but technology, tourism, and global finance will sustain it. Billions are being invested into cutting-edge tech startups, artificial intelligence, and cryptocurrency infrastructure. Saudi Arabia is also pouring trillions into tourism, with plans to build ultra-luxury resorts along the Red Sea to rival destinations like Dubai and the Maldives. But make no mistake, this isn't just about money. It's about power. By diversifying its economy, Saudi Arabia is ensuring that its influence isn't tied to oil alone. The goal is clear: to dominate the future just as it dominated the past. Will it succeed? That's the billion-dollar question. But one thing is certain: Saudi Arabia is no longer just an oil empire. It's becoming a global force in ways the world never expected. The price of power, controversies, secrets, and global tensions. When your fortune is measured in trillions, wealth is no longer just about luxury, it's about control. The House of Saud doesn't just own palaces, oil fields, and private islands, they own influence. And with that comes secrets, power struggles, and global tensions. For all its wealth, Saudi Arabia is a kingdom built on absolute authority, where power is protected at all costs. But as history has shown, the higher you climb, the more dangerous the game becomes. The Saudi royal family's grip on power. In 2017, the world watched in shock as Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, executed one of the most ruthless power moves in modern history. Under the guise of an anti-corruption crackdown, dozens of Saudi Arabia's wealthiest and most powerful figures, including billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, were rounded up and detained at the five-star Ritz-Carlton in Riyadh. But this wasn't about corruption. It was about consolidating power. Those who resisted were forced to surrender billions of dollars in assets, ensuring that all financial and political influence remained under the iron grip of MBS. Since then, the House of Saud has made one thing clear: loyalty is rewarded, but defiance is crushed. Hidden bank accounts and offshore fortunes. For every palace and public display of wealth, there is a hidden side to the Saudi empire. The royal family's true fortune isn't just in oil. It's tucked away in offshore accounts, secret investments, and financial networks designed to keep their wealth untouchable. Reports suggest that hundreds of billions of dollars are funneled into Swiss banks, international hedge funds, and global real estate portfolios, allowing the House of Saud to move money without scrutiny. The kingdom's sovereign wealth fund alone controls over $700 billion, strategically placed in companies, tech startups, and assets around the world. This ensures that no matter what happens, Saudi wealth is always protected. Geopolitical influence, friend or foe. Saudi Arabia isn't just an oil supplier. It's a power broker in the highest levels of global politics. The U.S. relies on Saudi Arabia for energy security and military alliances. China views Saudi oil as a strategic necessity for its economic expansion. Europe depends on Saudi investments to keep financial markets stable. But alliances are never permanent. The same oil that fuels friendships can also spark conflicts. As the world shifts toward renewable energy, will Saudi Arabia remain an untouchable superpower? Or will its influence start to decline? The unanswered question: how much power is too much? With trillions at its disposal, control over global oil markets, and an empire built on secrecy, the House of Saud has mastered the art of staying on top. But history has shown that even the most powerful empires have their limits. The question is, has Saudi Arabia reached its peak, or is the kingdom just getting started? One thing is certain. As long as money rules the world, Saudi Arabia will remain one of its most powerful players. Saudi Arabia's empire is more than just a trillion-dollar fortune. It's absolute control over energy, wealth, and world affairs. From the vast oil fields of Aramco to futuristic megacities, from palatial fortresses dripping in gold to covered financial networks spanning the globe, the House of Saud has built a legacy of power that few can challenge. But as the world shifts away from oil and toward new sources of energy, a question looms over the kingdom. Will Vision 2030 secure Saudi Arabia's dominance for the future? Or is its wealth built on an empire that may one day fade? What do you think? Does Saudi Arabia's fortune make it the ultimate empire of power, or is there a hidden cost to holding this much influence? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love exploring the world of extreme wealth, untold power, and elite lifestyles, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more deep dives into the world's richest and most powerful figures. Until next time, stay ambitious, stay informed, and stay inspired.